Hello, everyone. You are listening to the Upshift podcast, the podcast all about Formula Racing. Right now, we are waiting for the British Grand Prix to get started. It's in a while, actually, from the time of recording. Is exactly 12 hours until the British Grand Prix. I know I'm excited. I'm very excited to see this because I'll be honest, it's my first British Grand Prix in a little bit. But first, before the race gets started, we need to talk about what happened in qualifying. Was there any surprises? There was a little bit, but it's kind of what we all kind of expected. I'll just read through the grid for you. 20th was Nicholas Latifi in Williams, 19th Romain Grosjean, 18th Kimi Räikkönen, 17th Antonio Giovinazzi, 16th Kevin Magnussen, 15th George Russell, his third Q2 in a row. 14th is Daniel Kvyat, 13th is Nico Hülkenberg returning to Formula 1, 12th is surprisingly Alexander Albon in the Red Bull. I'll talk about that later. 11th is Pierre Gasly. I'll also talk about that later. 10th is Sebastian Vettel, 9th Esteban Ocon, then Daniel Ricciardo, Sainz, Stroll, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc. I'll talk about him later as well. Max Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas, and Lewis Hamilton. So it's kind of what we all expected. We expected the two Mercedes to be a 1-2 front wheel lockout. We kind of, to be honest, I expected them to set a new lap record. It's kind of in their nature now. They set a record the last 3 races, I'm pretty sure. Or 2, because they set one in Austria and in the Hungaroring, and now here. So it's kind of a part of their ritual now. All right. The first person I do want to talk about is George Russell. He had a amazing qualifying, getting again to Q2 for the third time in a row, but a little bit of a sad ending, I guess, because after qualifying, the FIA did announce that he would be penalized a 5-place grid penalty for failure to respect double yellow flags for his teammate Nicholas Latifi when he spun at I believe turn 10. I don't remember. I know it was before Maggots and Beckett's. He spun, and Russell failed to lift off, even though I feel like he lifted off. If you listen to the engine, it kind of went from a high revving to a kind of medium revving sound, but there's nothing we can do now. So he will be penalized. He will be starting 20th. That means everyone behind him will jump up 1 place. That means Magnussen will be jumping up to 15th, Giovinazzi to 16th, Kimi Räikkönen to 17th, Grosjean to 18th, and Nicholas Latifi to 19th. And then another penalty that came in was Daniel Kvyat. He will be also dropping down 5 places due to a unscheduled gearbox change. So everyone behind him will go up, other than George Russell. So everyone will go up. Daniel Kvyat will be starting in 19th. Amazing qualifying for Nico Hülkenberg. Even though he's 13th, I do think that's a successful qualifying for him, because he was, I believe, I don't remember, I think he hasn't been in the F1 car since in 230 days, I believe, and that's pretty impressive to go that long and still make it into Q2 and less than half a second. It's actually 1.1 seconds. 0.111 seconds. He missed out on Q2. Next person I want to talk about is Alex Albon. Albon struggling, unfortunately, in qualifying. It's something that I definitely didn't want to see. If you know me, I'm a massive Alexander Albon fan, and this was kind of tough to see, but I am pretty confident in him. Hungary has proved he has amazing race pace. He's one of the best overtakers in my mind right now in Formula One, and I don't have a doubt in my mind he'll get into that top 6. And I don't think he will struggle. But it is a bit disappointing because now there are a little bit of talks around, is he going to lose that seat to Pierre Gasly? In my mind, I don't think so. Gasly is showing that he is very strong in the AlphaTauri car. He is showing some good pace, and I'll talk about him after Alex. He is showing good pace. He is showing that he can get into Q3 consistently, and he can definitely outpace his teammate Daniel Kvyat. But he was just not consistent last year, especially in the Red Bull. It was just painful to watch him in the Red Bull car. Like, you have high expectations for this racer, and he was so strong in 2018, getting one of the highest places in Toro Rosso history. At the time, the second best place, I believe, after Sebastian Vettel won in 2008, I'm pretty sure, in Monza. He had an amazing 2018. Going into 2019, everyone had high expectations, and it just didn't work out. Especially last year in Austria, especially him getting lapped by Verstappen, that was just really painful to watch. And Alex, I can say with full confidence, he is a better driver than Gasly. He's shown more pace. He's shown that he can overtake better than Pierre. He has more confidence because if you see Pierre, he's kind of passive aggressive. He there's a gap there, and then he like half goes for it and then backs out. And this is no disrespect to Gasly. I think he is an unbelievable racer. He's really, 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 really good. I especially know that, like, him proving that in Brazil last year to beat Lewis Hamilton in a straight line, and just throughout 2 laps just outpace one of the greatest of all time. He is a good racer, but he doesn't have the pizzazz, I guess, so to say, for that Red Bull seat. But talking about Pierre Gasly, another impressive qualifying. He just barely got knocked out in Q2. Lance Stroll was 10th and he was 11th. They had the exact same time. They both had a 1:26.501. But the reason that Stroll got in is he set the time first. That's kind of how it works. Unfortunately, Gasly would not be on the top 10. Both Pierre and Alex saying they are excited for the race because they will be able to choose from have a free choice of tires. They'll probably be starting on the mediums or hards. Today showing that the softs aren't good, really, in the heat. I believe the track temperature was like 55 degrees Celsius. If you're American, like me, just know 33 degrees Celsius is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it was very hot, and the soft tires just could not handle it. But most people will be starting on the medium tires. Moving on to Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel getting 10th and Charles Leclerc sitting in 4th position. Okay qualifying for Sebastian Vettel. Kind of what I expected. But Charles Leclerc, just amazing qualifying. Great pace. He beat his Q1 time by over a second. His Q1 time being 1:26.550. His Q3 time being 1:20. His Q1 time being 1:26.550. His Q3 time being 1:25.427. So great qualifying from him. Sebastian's still kind of struggling I think he only has a few points. Ferrari definitely on the back foot. They're in 5th place right now, with Sebastian Vettel only having 9 points, and Charles Leclerc definitely outscoring his teammate by double that points. He has 18 points. So definitely Charles Leclerc is on for some good points. Next is Max Verstappen, sitting in 3rd position, kind of what we expected from the Dutch racer. And of course, one pole is Lewis, second is Valtteri Bottas. Behind Leclerc is going to be Lando Norris in the McLaren. Great performance from him. 6th is Lance Stroll. 7th is Carlos Sainz. 8th is Daniel. They did pretty. Both Renaults doing pretty good. All right. Now it is time for some predictions. It's the predictions round. All right. This is going to be my top 10. I think the top 3 will stay exactly the same. I think it will be Lewis, Valtteri, and Max Verstappen. That may switch with Valtteri and Lewis, more than likely not, but I think Verstappen is locked in 3rd. 4th, I will go for Lando Norris. I definitely think he has the pace to beat that Ferrari, and I think he does have the pace to keep Lance Stroll at bay at the start. 5th, I am going with Alex Albon, having a good race again, cutting his way through the field. 6th is going to be Lance Stroll. I think he can do pretty well in the race. I think he definitely has the pace. 7th will be Charles Leclerc. I don't think he has the pace to keep all those cars at bay, but I do think he has the pace to keep a 7th position. 8th is Carlos Sainz. 9th is going to be Daniel Ricciardo, and 10th will be Pierre Gasly. Finishing off the points, I definitely think Pierre has the pace to get into a top 10, and I think him and Nico Hülkenberg will have a good battle for the 10th position for the last points. I do think Sebastian Vettel will drop. I don't think he has the pace to keep those cars behind him. In other news, Nico Hülkenberg will be the BWT Racing Point driver for the foreseeable future. As I mentioned in the last episode, Sergio Perez has tested positive for coronavirus. We all do hope that Sergio is well and he is staying safe. We all hope he gets better very soon, and we all hope we see him in the paddock very, very soon. Everyone, this has been the Upshift Podcast. I hope you have all enjoyed. Please consider sharing this with friends and family. Follow me on Twitter at the Upshift Podcast. Follow me on Instagram at UpshiftF1. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at the Upshift Podcast. The T is a 1 because of F1. Get it? And subscribe to subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I hope you guys all stay safe in quarantine. Wear your mask, and goodbye.